So as I'm trying to record evidence, I'm being sabotaged. I don't know why this keeps turning off. I was trying to record earlier, it was turning off, so I had to start recording as recorder again. So as I'm exposing the secrets of the government here in America, New York City, like for example, the police took my home, sexually harassed me, and Arizona was going to help him with the court papers, and they choked him there in 2014. And the building where I was keeping evidence against the police was burned down before they killed Arizona in 2014. Also around March, that building was burned down, March 2014, and in July 2014 they killed Arizona. As a matter of fact, when they burned down that building, and the fire extinguisher came, the fire department came, and they didn't extinguish the fire, and the bystanders were wondering what was going on. Why did the fire department want the building burnt down? I didn't even understand what was going on, why they didn't want to extinguish the fire. That was in March 2014. And a few months later, July 2014, they choked Arizona dead, the NYPD. And it was also, as he was dying, he was saying, he was suspicious of what they're doing, that they need to stop bothering him. And also, the Google Drive has joined in for a long time. It's preventing me from uploading my videos. Because when the police choked me in 2019, they stole my phone, all my property. I kept to my luggage. They choked me. I went and dumped me in the psych ward. So they said, this was one of the brutality that they practiced, whereby they will forcibly arrest you if you have evidence against them and steal the evidence. So I wasn't really saving videos to Google Drive back then. So then I'm trying to be saving Google's videos to Google Drive. And now the Google Drive has been stalling me. Any payment card I enter to tell me decline. I'll go buy a new payment card, tell me decline. And now it finally accepted one of the payment card. And, but I've been trying to upload videos. I'm so backlogged for like 2 months, since March, when it was been giving me problem. Now it's May. So I'm trying to upload all the videos since March. And, even the recent videos, it won't upload. So I've been trying to upload these 2 videos, and it's taking so long. I've been trying to do this for since 4 p.m. Sometimes it takes me days and days and days, just to upload 2 videos, So I have so much videos, and I'm being harassed. They're burning, taking all my property. Cause sometimes I check lock my property to the bicycle chain locks, and other people do that, and they won't bother the other people. Just my property they will remove, and they would, people will smash my property into pieces, and sometimes invite the sanitation to come and get it. As I'm talking about this whole code, they just did that to me yesterday, and the police would take so long to respond. It would take 2 hours when I called them, my property has been stolen, and they'll find an excuse not to give me a police report. Yesterday they told me on Greenwich Street that I need to have an ID. I told them my ID was stolen by the police, and I had already the police report. Since then, it's so hard for me to get another ID because I don't have a home address I could use to get that ID. So they left me alone, and they said they're not going to do any police report for me. So they're covering up. Some goons attacked me from Me Too 2 days ago, I think on Sunday night, and they were telling me, no pick, no case, no pick, no case. And by the next day, my property was stolen, where I chain locked it, and another person's property that was chain locked next to mine wasn't stolen, it was just mine. When I called the police, it took them 2 hours to come. So it was the Me Too, because I'm trying to get the Gloria Allred of the Me Too arrested also. Because when the police sexually harassed me and took my home on Staten Island in 2010, I filed a lawsuit against them. Arizona was helping with the court papers, and they took Arizona dead. So I went to the Me Too lawyer over the phone, Gloria Allred. I told her to help me. I was nude searched by the NYPD on lawfully, and she told me she can't help me because she wants the NYPD to help her arrest R. Kelly and Weinstein and get money for them. So she was bribing them, and she was she was failing to report a crime by them, which is also a misfelony and bribery. So since I've been trying to expose this Gloria Allred, I've been talking publicly about it on the train and everything. So they set me up on the train and told me I was going to be harmed. And that day, July 20, 2019, they sent a guy who was sexually harassing me on the street on Bay Ridge Avenue and 4th Avenue. The police camera was recording on Bay Ridge Avenue and 4th Avenue. People were helping me, man. This guy came, was rubbing his hand on my body part, in a sexual harassing manner. So I told him to stop doing that. And before I knew it, then he left. And the police came, they said that somebody said I was arguing with somebody, and the police knocked me to the ground, choked me, and put handcuffs on me, and took me to the sidewalk. I was explaining to them, a guy was sexually harassing me. The police camera on the street on Bay Ridge will bear me evidence, and they went and dropped me in psych ward. And then with the psych ward, they misdiagnosed me with all kind of mental health illnesses, and they threw me out on the street after 7 days. So they said, when they do you like that, the police can come and kill you later and say you already have a psychiatric problem that wasn't getting better, and you try to attack the police. And this Governor Oko, since I started talking about, when they were already arrested, she started putting soldiers at the World Trade Center where I normally use the bathroom. And they call them the National Guard. And, and they said that was just a waste of resources because the National Guard can't arrest somebody. But I as a layperson, didn't know that. They have to call 911 to get you arrested. But they follow me to the bathroom with their guns, and they were just there menacing me, even though there was no terror alert for New York City, because whenever there's a terror alert, maybe some terrorists issued a threat to New York, the color code will change to orange, and then that's when they start putting soldiers all around the landmarks. But they weren't putting no soldiers anywhere else in any landmark like subway. It was just in the bathroom with me to intimidate me to stop talking about this girl already, because I think she works with the police here, and she gets people arrested and gets money to their clients like R. Kelly and stuff, and she covers up crime for the police that they commit, like sexually harassing me. So this Governor Oko started putting soldiers near me in the bathroom. They followed me to the bathroom, and thugs will harass me in the bathroom, like Me Too thugs. And then when I called the police department, the Port Authority police that guard the World Trade Center, they will refuse to help me. So I've been going through that, and they were doing this to me even last year. There was a snowstorm, and it was predicted the snowstorm was going to be heavy in Buffalo. And they said Governor Oku left the National Guard soldiers at the World Trade Center instead of releasing them to go to Buffalo to help people. And so a Black American nurse was driving home from work, and she got stuck in a snowstorm, and she called 911. And 911 was trying to get her soldiers to come free her, because only the soldiers can maneuver a snowstorm. They're the only ones that know how to operate all helicopters. And they couldn't get no soldiers because the soldiers, Governor Oku left them in the World Trade Center. They were anticipating I'll go use the bathroom, and so they can scare me again. But at the World Trade Center, because whenever there's a snowstorm like that, I will go to use the bathroom at the World Trade Center. So she left it on purpose, because to scare me and stuff. And it says 40 people perished because the soldiers were stuck. Well, the Governor Oku left them in New York City instead of Buffalo. So I've been threatening to inform the state legislature. So I've been getting attacked by goons. On Sunday, night, I was riding the train on 42nd Street, and some girls followed me to the train, and they were making sexual noises like, I'm a transsexual. It was like, take it out, bro, and we're sitting on top of each other's lap, and all of a sudden they came and hit me in the head, and I started recording them, and and then they told me they were sorry, and then after I turned off the camera, they said, we're going to do it again, we're going to stab, and they were terrorizing me, and then the phone and the train told me, the train stopped all of a sudden. Say the train's not going anywhere. Say, someone had disconnected the light. To have to the terror. And those goons were saying, no pick, no case. No pick, no case. That was on Sunday night, May 12, 2024. By Monday, I discovered all my property has been stolen. And, when I called the police, they made me wait 2 hours, and they told me, if I didn't see who stole it, then there's nothing they can do. And I told them, you can just issue a police report. And they told me I have to have an ID. I told my ID has been stolen. I did a police report, and the police left me alone. They told me they can't do a police report without an ID. I'm like, I've gotten police report in the past, and also on them, yesterday, May 13, 2024, I was trying to buy food close to the Staten Island Ferry, and across the street from the Bowling Green 4 train station. And some Chinese female came around me, and they were referring to me as animal, dirty animal, and they were trying to bump into me, so I ran away. And they were coughing as I was buying food, so I couldn't even get the food anymore. I just ran away. And earlier that morning, on May 3rd, 2024, I got off the train station, and some police surrounded me, say I need to get going. I'm like, I just got off the train station. What do you mean I should get going? I'm not a criminal, so I recorded them. I noticed I was the only one that were harassed like this. So it's like, they're trying to reincarnate the killing of Amadou Diallo when the police accidentally killed them. So they've been bothering me because they know, police on Black Encounter always had a fatal. So they've been harassing me all along, and and they believe they can just blame me on mental illness. My mother's daughters, Belani and Flora, feigned mental illness from my mother in 2015. My mother told me they were jealous that I was suing the NYPD for taking my home, and they believe I was going to win so much money. They were based in Pennsylvania, daughters, but they were monitoring my case in Brooklyn Federal Court online, because any court case you filed in federal court is always online. And my mother said they were jealous. So they tricked my mother to leave New York to come and stay with them. So they said, promised my mother money and didn't give my mother money. As soon as my mother went to live with one of them, Flora, and she said the Flora drove her in the car and went and hit another person's house to scare my mother, because when the police evicted me and my mother, I put in the Brooklyn federal court papers that my mother almost had a heart attack because the police told us if we don't leave, because we refused to leave without a court order, and the police said if we don't leave, they're going to feign mental illness owners and put us in a psych ward. So that caused my mother to panic, and my mother was almost having a heart attack. So I stated that that my mother has a heart disease, and when you cause her to panic, when you scare her, anything that scares her will cause her to have a heart attack. That was how she got her first heart attack in 2003. She got scared, and a doctor wrote that report. I even sent that report to the immigration. So our daughters invited her to Pennsylvania, and my mother said they were using scare tactics on her. My mother said they were talking to people in Nigeria that wanted to kill my mother in the past. Me and my mother testified about those people at the immigration court in 2001, and the police refused to help my mother. As a matter of fact, I brought a note from Nigeria, which my mother recorded that in 1990 somebody tried to choke her in Nigeria, choked her in Nigeria, and the police wouldn't help her. I was witness to that incident, so I brought that. It was written in my childhood Bible, so I gave it to the immigration. I made photocopies. I gave it to the U.S. immigration, so it's still in my record to show. That our daughters were speaking to those people in Nigeria. So my mother was saying that our daughters were making an attempt to kill her. They were using scare tactics, like the daughter Flora would drive her in the car and go hit somebody's house. My mother was, because my mother knows how to drive, and she was like, it looks like she did it on purpose. And the police and ambulance came to rescue them. My mother said that it looks like that Flora did it on purpose. And then when they noticed my mother didn't die, the husband of Flora, who works for the U.S. military, was a hockey guy, so was provoking my mother, and all of a sudden ran down the staircase, running with full force, like was coming to hit my mother. Was shouting to my mother, "What did you say? What did you say?" And my mother said she almost had a heart attack. Then when the police was called, the police said, they kind of arrested him because he didn't really hit her. My mother was telling the police, look, it was trying to scare her to death, and they said that's not against the law. So my mother fled out the house of Flora, went to Bolanley house, and he said in Bolanley's house also, she was trying to get my mother to die. She said whenever there's a snowfall, that Bolanley wouldn't sweep the snow from in front of her house. So my mother would trip and almost fall on the snow. So and the other daughter, Flora, came to visit my mother in Bolanley's house and fell on the snow. They had to take her by ambulance to the hospital. So that's another record right there. Car accident, police being called as the Flora's husband tried to punch my mother. Then police being ambulance coming to take the other daughter. Then my mother said she started sweeping the snowfall so that she doesn't fall also. And she said all of a sudden it feels like Bolanley was filled up with cough fluid. The poison, because my mother's feet was swelling higher and higher, and she would start feeling like she's about to have a heart attack, and then she would start feeling very tired, and she was telling me, and the police, the FBI had me on surveillance since like 2000, because when I came into the country with my mother, I was arrested by U.S. immigration. They said children are not allowed to come into the country with green card holders. My mother had a green card. Even though I had a green card stamp on my passport, they told me, I was sharing the same passport with my mother and also had a separate passport, and there was a green card stamp in each of the passport. And they said, no, they have to arrest me, that, children are not allowed with green card holders in America. So they sent my fingerprint to the FBI. So FBI put me under surveillance because right after that, September 11 happened and all the immigrants were being surveilled. So the FBI records would also show. My mother was telling me all this stuff on the phone. And, so if anybody doubts anything I say. My mother also suffers from diabetes. So our daughters were just, felt they could kill her and to look like the diabetes killed her. So they were feeding her like a cough fluid. And my mother, so in May 2015, my mother said she started having symptoms of a heart attack. Her heart was racing fast. So she got on the Greyhound bus to come to New York. Midway, she suffered the heart attack in New Jersey. So the Greyhound bus pulled over, but my mother told the Greyhound bus to keep driving to New York. Because our daughters work for the hospital system in Pennsylvania, so she was afraid that, she didn't want to go to hospital in Pennsylvania because she was afraid they may sabotage our health, the diagnosis and the scrutiny and stuff. The diagnostics, to see what poison was being used to poison her. So my mother didn't want to stop over in Jersey because Jersey was next door to Pennsylvania, and both our daughters drive. So she wanted to be as far away from them as possible. So they told the Greyhound bus to keep driving. In May 2015 to New York City. By the time they got to New York City, my mother collapsed on the floor, and they took her to the hospital. So my mother was starting to feel better at the hospital when Bolanley and Flora called her daughters and asked her where she was, and she told them she was in the hospital. And she didn't even tell them what hospital she was in. She was told them by the next day they came to the hospital. And my mother was in shock. My mother said she thinks they worked for a gang. They will have a gang, and that gang is connected with the police and stuff. And I'm thinking, because one of my daughter's husband works for the U.S. military, and my mother's a political activist. She called the NYPD terrorists for taking our home, and as soon as she called the NYPD terrorists on WB11 News, one of the NYPD former commissioner, Carrick, told the media that some people live in basement apartment with a loser child. Me and my mother was living in a basement apartment, and after that, the police was following my mother around, was following Arugana around, that was trying to help us, and Arugana was complaining they choke Arugana dead, and we laughed as they choke him dead, and they didn't let me and my mother testify. Then my house got burned down. The fire department didn't help me extinguish the fire. Soon before they killed Arugana, in that 2014, March 2014, my fire got burned down, and bystanders were wondering why the fire department didn't extinguish the fire early, and the other building was crushed into pieces later on to erase every evidence. The building was on Canal Street, Staten Island. So when my mother was poisoned, most likely, my mother alleged that she was being poisoned by daughters because my mother's feet was growing fatter, nails and feet was getting bigger and bigger, and her heart would start racing. So she came on the Greyhound bus to New York City, and she had a heart attack on the Greyhound bus. And when she landed in New York City, she fell on the floor, and they took her to the hospital, and she was starting to get better a little bit, and her daughters came from Pennsylvania. So my mother told them she's not going back to Pennsylvania with them, because she thought she'd be okay in New York, and they told the hospital to lock her up in the psych ward, just to mess with her, because my mother was misdiagnosed with mental illness in 2001. And it's so easy to get misdiagnosed with mental illness in America. They say Black American kids also get misdiagnosed all the time. And they will put those kids in special schools. They give them medication, over-medicate them. And those kids' life will be ruined because they will start copying behavior of mentally ill people. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So in 2001, I had an immigration court case. My mother was working full-time. She was also going to school full-time. And the lawyer that was handling my case stopped showing up in court. So the judge told us to find a new lawyer, and it was so expensive to find a new lawyer. So my mother, high blood pressure rose, and after high blood pressure rose, she couldn't sleep anymore. She was suffering insomnia. So I called 911 on her, and when we got to the Richmond University Hospital in Staten Island, they misdiagnosed her as mental illness. And instead of putting her in the ICU, because he has a high blood pressure, she was about to have a stroke or heart attack, they went to put her in the psych ward. I think they took her to Bailey City Hospital. So they intentionally misdiagnosed her, So our daughters knew about it, and that was how they came in 2015 to tell the doctor to lock her up in the psych ward. And because of that misdiagnosis, my mother didn't trust the U.S. healthcare system, and so when she had the heart problem, she wanted to go to Israel to get her heart, to get the surgery for a heart problem, and she even filed a court case after the police took her home and said, and from the court, Brooklyn Federal Court, that the police took her home and she needs and locked up the door against us, and a passport. She needs to access to the house to get a passport because she needs to travel to Israel for her surgery. This was in 2010. But the Brooklyn Federal Court didn't grant her permission to get a passport from the house. So that delayed her going to Israel. So she forgo her surgery in Israel. But because of her misdiagnosis as a mental ill person, and misdiagnosis in 2001, saying she was mentally ill. When she wasn't mentally ill, she was having high blood pressure because she wasn't sleeping. And the hospital misdiagnosed her, with mental illness, and had her locked up in the psych ward. So my mother didn't trust the U.S. healthcare system. So she wanted to travel to Israel to do her heart surgery, and she already informed the court in 2001 that she was going to travel to Israel to have a heart surgery, and then she needed access to the house that was locked up against us after we were evicted, unlawfully by the police. And the court didn't grant her permission, so she forgo surgery. So in 2015, like 3 years later, after the police locked up her house, so she couldn't get a person, our daughters came to the hospital and told them to lock her up in the psych ward, and she shouldn't be allowed to go to Israel because she wanted to go to Israel to also pray, because she's a very spiritual person. And she had a heart attack in 2003, and she didn't do surgery either. She prayed about it, and she had the aortic dissection, and that was healed miraculously by God. So she believed God would heal her again if she went to Israel to pray. Because she traveled outside of America to pray. Around that time, she had a heart attack. She traveled outside of America, like 2004, to pray, and God healed her of the heart disease. So she believed when she was diagnosed with a different heart disease, you know, inflammation of the heart, in 2015, she believed, she goes and prays about it, she's going to get healed again. So our daughters, wanted to go to Israel to pray and to use the hospital system that she doesn't get healed quickly. And our daughter said they should lock her up in the psych ward because she refuses to go back with them to Pennsylvania. Because my mother was getting poisoned in Pennsylvania. She felt, because her legs, her feet were swelling, and she was feeling sicker and sicker. And her daughters were using scare tactics against her. One of her daughters, used the car, went and drive the car to another person's house while my mother was in the back seat. And that same daughter, Flora, hit me with a car in 2001 when my mother was trying to bring me back to New York for my court case, for immigration court case. Me and my mother visited her daughters in 2001, and I was trying to come back to New York for the court case. And that daughter was being malicious and wanted me to miss my court date so I could get deported. So that one, Flora, hit me with a car. I had a disagreement with them. Hit me with a car, and the other daughter, Bolani, called 911. So I was crazy, and I was attacking them. And I had a weapon. Even I didn't have a weapon, I was an immigrant having an immigration case. So she was trying to mess my immigration case up. So the police came and removed me to the psych ward. So at the Mercy Hospital in Pennsylvania. So when they observed me, that they saw I wasn't crazy, and they saw that I wanted, and I told them I needed to be released so I could go to New York for my court case. So they told the daughter that called 911 that, I wasn't acting crazy, and why did she call 911? And also I said I wanted to go back to New York for my court case, immigration court case, otherwise I would get deported in absentia. So I said this blatantly lie that, they should not let me go, they should keep me in the cycle forever, and so because I didn't have no court case, I'm imagining I'm delusional. In which she knew I had a court case. So the hospital told me that Balali, my mother's daughter, told them that, in 2001, as I was in the hospital, Mercy Hospital in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, downtown area, and they told me, our daughter said, I didn't have no court case with immigration. I'm imagining it, and I said they were going to give me, high-level prescription. And I told them, they should let me call my lawyer in New York, that would confirm it. So I called my lawyer in New York, and my lawyer told him I didn't have an immigration case. And the hospital thanked me that I'm a very brilliant person, even though, I was just an immigrant that my mother brought a year earlier from Nigeria, and they thanked me that, I used wisdom to prevent them from making the mistake. And they told me they don't understand why our daughters blandly would lie and, cause them to hospitalize me wrongfully for many days. And they said that our daughters also, they beat up the white family they were living with, they put them in juvenile prison in Pennsylvania. So they've always had a troubled past. Our daughter Berlin would also beat up my mother, when she was a teenager. My mother had to call calling police on her. So they had troubled past, and they eventually killed my mother in 2015 by feigning mental illness of my mother. And also I was misdiagnosed, around 2000. In the early 2000s, because my height was crossing and I had a history of a head injury. So I went to a psychiatrist. I was trying to get them to a neuropsychiatrist, really. I was trying to get them to help me do an MIR, of my brain, because I had a head injury and with scars on my head, on my forehead and stuff. So I was trying to get the psychiatrist to order a CAT scan of my brain to make sure my brain wasn't damaged. And she was like a Russian doctor. I don't know if she understands English, but she has a medical certificate, so she must know. She must be, because the medical licenses test is based in English, so she must not understand English. So I guess she was just trying to, fraudulently make money. And she said, so she told me she's not going to order a CAT scan of my brain. That eye crossing is a sign of psychiatric illness, and she was just going to diagnose me with delusional disorder. So she's misdiagnosed me with delusional disorder. So my mother told my daughters in Pennsylvania that was misdiagnosed and stuff. So they knew about that. But then I went to another doctor, the SUNY School of Ophthalmology on 42nd Street. There, the neurologist there deals with eye crossing, and he told me I was perfectly mentally okay, that I appear to have an adult late onset of strabismus eye crossing, and he prescribed eye exercises for me to do, and I said if that doesn't help me, they're going to do eye surgery. I said I was mentally okay, give me a note. So so the SUNY School of Ophthalmology on 42nd Street has already cleared me of any mental illness. Then in 2019, the police came and arrested me as I was trying to get Gloria already, in trouble, and she had so much influence with the police. So they set me up, and they sent a guy to be sexually harassing me, rubbing his hand on my body part, running his hand on my body part as the police camera was recording on Bay Ridge and 4th Avenue. And I protested against that guy, and he left, and the police came and knocked me down. Said somebody called 911, said I was fighting with somebody. And I was explaining to them, like, look, a guy was touching me, sexually harassing me, and I want to file a police report. And I told them they won't let me file a police report. And knocked me down and choked me and took me to the psych ward, in which they misdiagnosed me again with all kinds of mental illnesses. So they're playing games with my health. And they said, because, so I believe this Me Too mob is working with the police to get me killed. Because they say, once they misdiagnose you with mental illness, they can get the police to kill you anytime the police want. So right now, the mob attacked me again in 2000 on Sunday, May 12, 2024. It was like there was like a mob of 3 male. It was like they were trying to get close to me and choke me on the train. They were hitting me in the head and said they were going to stab me, and they were saying no pick, no case. And the next day I discovered all my belongings. I chain lock on Greenwich Street had already been stolen, and someone else that chain locked their belonging next to mine, that stuff wasn't stolen. And I called the police. They made me wait 2 hours. They were trying to provoke me, and they told me they're not going to give me a police report because I don't really know who did it. They said, so they were saying the same thing, no pick, no case, and they left, and they told me also I don't have an ID, so they're not going to give me a police report. I said, you can give me a police report. My ID was stolen. When the police arrested me and put me in the psych ward, that's when they stole my ID. And they told me, they don't care. They're not going to give a police report. So also, before my mother was killed, she was telling me her daughters, were trying to kill her. And she told me her family member in other countries also didn't try to help me and her. So she told me if anything happens to her, she has family members in England and everywhere else. She said, if anything happens to her, I should just be asking strangers for help. Because also she had to remove me from Nigeria because my father was abusive to me. My father also has family in England and stuff, but my father was abusive to me, so I don't really trust his family members either. So I believe that they're trying to, and sometimes somebody's hiring people to try to run me over with a car. So it's like, and this Governor Oko said, passed a strange law that if somebody is badly injured, they can keep them alive through a nitrogen treatment. Because they have a nitrogen treatment, somebody's badly injured, it will keep the person alive in nitrogen, and they can conduct medical tests on them. So I don't know if they're planning to torture me. Somebody has been hiring cars to try to hit me. As a matter of fact, the paramedics' cars will also try to hit me, and they would run away, and the police camera will pick them up as they run away, and I'll record on my phone as they're fleeing. So that police camera on Greenwich Street, they went and removed it, the video camera. Yeah, Park Court, Washington Market Park. And so I also required evidence. I saved it on my Google Drive. So in case anything happens to me, people need to make sure nobody deletes my Google Drive messages. No other country is safe for me, because US has allies all over the world, and the NYPD, is a very powerful organization here in America. And so they could get the US allies to not investigate me being assassinated in another country. So I've been trying to upload these videos now for so long, and it's not uploading. But in the past, I've been able to upload about 600 gigabytes of videos, to Google. So in case anything happens to me, I still have space for 2 trillion bytes. But I've already uploaded 600 gigabytes. So if anything happens to me, today is May 14, 2024. If any video as of May 14, 2024, if my video is less than 600, somebody deleted it. So as of May 14, 2024, all my videos should be 600 at least. So I'm thinking, they're trying to, get me badly injured so I won't be able to speak in court, and then torture me further by putting me in nitrogen treatment and for medical experiment. I believe this between this Governor Oko and this Me Too mob. they're the ones, behind this terroristic attack I'm experiencing, whereby I was hit in the head on the train on Sunday, May 12, 2024, and they were saying no pick, no case. And when I called the police after I got robbed the next day, the person was saying the same thing, no pick, no case, and they made me wait 2 hours. Every time I called the police, they made me wait 2 hours. So and also they believe, that, if they can also declare me crazy or harm me, maybe my mother's daughters, Bolani and Flora, will ship me out of the country because my mother said they were trying to commit insurance fraud to, and kill her. So I believe they may have already got the money from the insurance fraud after they killed my mother, got her put in the psych ward, and they say my mother died, while she was being placed in psych ward. She died of shock. There's something called broken heart syndrome. Like if you make somebody panic, you cause them to be emotionally distressed. They said people either go into have a stroke, or have heart attack. And I was asking the hospital, did they try to resuscitate my mother? They said they didn't. They didn't. I don't think they tried to resuscitate her. So they left her to die. So and I asked them to do an autopsy. They said Doris don't want an autopsy. Because now this year I found out a story that corroborates what my mother was telling me. They said a guy in Atlanta, poisoned his son because he didn't want to pay child support anymore. He was feeding his son car fluid, like a anti-ice freeze, anti-car freeze, anti-ice freeze, and was poisoning his son. And they said the child was having the same symptoms my mother was complaining of. The child couldn't breathe, was vomiting, was having pain. My mother was having those symptoms. Both our children drive, and she was living with Balali at that time, and who was a Uber driver. So my mother felt she was being poisoned. She was having, she was upset. Anytime she goes near that Bolani in the house and she eats, she start having symptoms of a heart attack. So my mother said they were trying to get inheritance money. Because I said when the police visited me and my mother, my mother began having a heart attack when they threatened to lock us up in the psych ward or put us in prison if we don't leave our house, because we refused to leave because it was an illegal eviction. They didn't get a court order. And also that my mother went to court saying she couldn't travel to Israel to get heart surgery done because the police locked up her home and her passport is in there. So I believe her daughters wanted to create a real confusion. That's why they told the hospital to lock my mother up in the psych ward and not let her go to Israel. They wanted her to die so that they can then sue the police. And said, my mother couldn't do surgery for so long because the police locked up her house and she couldn't get a passport, but they can't sue the police because they're afraid I would witness against them. So I believe this Governor Okul is aware that my mother's daughters would want me dead, and is willing to do them that favor with their Me Too mob. Or they will want me shipped to another country, so I won't be here to go against their police, to go against their daughters, because they really want money for my mother's death and blame me on the police, and enter into a secret settlement with the New York City and get the money for the police. And my mother said her daughters are part of a gang. And I've been having Black Americans trying to jump me like a Black American gang. So I believe she may want to give this money either to the Me Too mob gang, then be part of the Me Too mob gang, and then also a Black American gang, because I always get attacked by Black American gangs also, members. They will smash my belongings to pieces, and so they will call sanitation to come take my belongings from off the street. And the chairs I sit on also, they will smash it into pieces. The street furniture. So you engage in vandalism. I was also trying to use the bathroom at Washington Market Park. The Black American janitors also would spray water on me, And when I called the police, they sent a Black American police officer who took 2 hours to respond, and she came with some other police, and she told me to shut up, that I look crazy. She says, and called the paramedic, to take me to psych ward. It was the NYU psychiatric hospital they were going to take me to. That was the same hospital they took me to in 2019 Brooklyn. So between the NYU, it's like they work for the Me Too mob. So, and they said if they declare you crazy, they can just feed you with medicine and ship you out of the country, or they want to put me, and sometimes they have someone with broken legs follow me all around. Someone whose leg got amputated, and someone has been trying to use people driving to hit me with a car. So they terrorizing me. So anytime I talk bad about either my mother's daughters or Governor Oko on Twitter, I will get attacked, my property will get stolen. So I need the New York legislature to help me. If in case I'm harmed, only America is safe for me. And my mother reached out to our family members, and they didn't help me from all over the world. Also, I was abused by my father. That's why I came to apply for asylum. And I don't trust my father's family. Some of them in England or anywhere else, everywhere else. So in case I'm harmed, only, America is the only place I can be. I'm a U.S. permanent resident, and also an international human rights organization take over my case. And also, I don't have children. I don't want to have children, and I'm not married to anybody. And nobody should take my body parts for procreation purposes. Because they said when Eric Garner died, his wife was pregnant with a child, and the child was born after Eric Garner died. And since then, I believe, this Me Too mob also is trying to sexually traffic me, because they say if you're killed and somebody claims they are pregnant with your baby, I'm a transsexual, if somebody claims they're pregnant with your baby, that person will get money, will inherit all your assets. The baby will be a sole survivor, because I don't have any children. I say it happened to a woman in Florida. She was in coma and she was in a hospital there, and the male nurse was raping her. And the hospital didn't do nothing until the baby came out of genitalia, and the baby was crying, wah, 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 and the baby came out looking at the male nurse that was assigned to treat her. So the lady's mother came and took the baby from the hospital and sued the hospital, and the male nurse was convicted. So with this Governor Hoko try to put me in the psych ward, I'm afraid they may want to rape me and take my semen and give it to one of the Me Too people to have a baby, and kill me in the hospital with overdose of ketamine. They said it happened to a black American. He was arrested. After the police arrested me, put me in the psych ward, and they were trying to choke me, almost killed me. They said a black American called Elijah McClain, 2019. The police did it to me in July 2019. They did it to me in November 2019. They said somebody called 911. They said he looked crazy. He was wearing a jacket in November. And the police told him they were going to take him to psych ward because he was wearing a jacket in November, and it wasn't such a cold day in November. And he told them he was wearing a jacket because he has anemia and he was coming home from work and it wasn't crazy. And the police began choking him and invited a paramedic to inject him with ketamine. And he died on the spot. And for 3 years, I was talking about the case here in New York City, and the mayor of Denver, Colorado, Michael Johnston, finally ordered for a criminal trial of the case last year, and they convicted the police officer and also the paramedic for misuse of a medical device in the needle. So I believe the police that choked me in 2019, the videos on my Twitter, they need to be arrested, just like Elijah McClain. Even though I survived, but they found the police officer guilty of misuse of force and also of misuse of medical device. So they were forcing me on medication at the hospital, and I believe they may want to put me in the hospital and keep me sedated and rape me and sell my sperm to the Me Too mob. I say if they can claim you had a secret pact with a stranger and that person became pregnant from you, the baby will become the inheritor of your estate. So I don't trust my mother's daughters. I don't trust any of this. So if in case I'm killed, I'm saying now I don't have any pact with anybody. I'm not trying to make a baby with anyone. And also I'm not secretly married to anybody. I've been single, and this is what's going on in my immigration record. It says they're single. A single immigrant. My marriage started single, so that will show. And I didn't apply for no marriage license. And also in 2020, as the COVID was going on, the MTA locked up all the bathrooms. I was talking about this Me Too already. I went arrested, and the MTA locked up all the bathrooms. I couldn't find a bathroom to use. And the guy came and told me to come to his house. Like he will use, I can be using the bathroom in his house. And when I got there, he started making sexual advances upon me and told me he wants to marry him. And I told him no. And within a few days, he was forcing himself on me. And when I declared marriage, he punched me and kicked me out of his house. Even though the Governor Cuomo was the governor then, and he signed the law then that nobody should be evicted during that COVID season. So I called the police. There was blood on my face. They took my picture, and I told them it was unlawfully evicting me. And the police told me they don't care about the law. They're going to get me. They're kicking me out also. So I believe this Me Too mob hired that guy in the Bronx because I was trying to find a bathroom to use, and the MTA locked up the bathroom to set me up to go into his house. So I was sexually trafficked and I was raped. He was forcing himself on me, and when I refused to advance, he finally punched me because I didn't want to be raped anymore, and let me blood and threw me out of his house 6 days later after sexually abusing me. So I believe that guy works for the Me Too mob. I've been sexually trafficked, and this Governor Oko is making it a safe haven for Me Too terrorists. and the transphobic movement. Even the bathroom I use at the Pier 25, they damaged the door, so I can't close the door. I use a large bathroom because I have my belongings with me in the bathroom, my luggages, And also, like 2 years ago, 2022, they had a female come in there after a Spanish female was arrested for lying on a Black American male that the Black American male stole her phone and beat up the Black American male. And then they found out, she finally found the phone, and the police came and arrested her. So a Spanish female also came into the bathroom and said she believed I stole her phone and was attacking me. I called 911 and she was laughing with the police. And the police told me that, she just wanted me to put in psych ward. As she said, she was just lying about her phone being stolen. I'm like, she did that to put me in the psych ward? She said I look crazy to her. That's why she lied. So I told them, okay, I want a police report. The police said, no, we're going to put you in the psych ward. Just like she ordered. So she was like a Me Too person working with the police. Because I was talking about Gloria Oren in 2022. So in front of the Pier 25 bathroom near the West Side Highway, across the street from Borough of Manchester Community College. They said that the immigrants drove a car to hit Americans after 9/11, a few years ago, and killed so many Americans in front of that park. So since then, the Me Too is now engaging in xenophobia, revenge attack against me. So anything that goes wrong, the Me Too would try to, scapegoat me as an immigrant and harm me. Also, there's a Black American basketball player, Damian Lillard. There was a day also I was attacked. In 2021, Eric Adam, I just won the mayorship around December. And, and all of a sudden and it was saying all kinds of stuff also. As a Black American, it was saying, go to Ohio, go to Ohio, go to another place. He said, go to another city. I forgot the name of that city. It was said New York is for real New Yorkers. Because back then I used to talk on the train that in Ohio, when Nigerian became mayor, and that's another city I used to mention. I forgot the name of that city. It's not Iowa. It sounds like Iowa. The name of that city lose me now. Yeah. I said Iowa. Yes, Iowa. Yeah. I used to talk about it. I used to go in front of the mayor's Adam. It was the borough president of Brooklyn back then. Anytime I tried to use the bathroom at the 2 train station across the street from his office as the borough of Brooklyn, the police would eject me from the bathroom because I had a court case against them. So they were terrifying me. So and he used to work for the police department. So I went in front of his office building. I believe he could hear me. So I was saying Ohio, and Nigerian is the mayor of the Ohio city, a town in Ohio. I said in Iowa, they let undocumented immigrants have driver's license. And then, then this Mayor Adams started telling the press, you go to Ohio, you go to Iowa. New York is for real New Yorkers. And back then, people used to make fun of me that I speak with a fake American accent. They put in the empty bathroom, die soon poser. And since the person have been trying. So as soon as this Eric Adam became mayor, he was saying they're going to reset. He won the mayorship election in 2021. And by 2019, the police arrested me and stole all my phones. And also, I used to get robbed. People would pickpocket my phone. When I used my Google app, Phone Finder, to try to find on my other phone, on another phone I would have, it will show your phone is the Google app has been erased. My phone locator can't locate my other phone after they stole it. Sometimes it would tell me the phone was taken to somewhere in Harlem, and I keep and tell me the building, and I believe the police have me on surveillance. So when they see that I'm using Google app to locate the building where I took my phone to, all of a sudden the person that stole my phone erased the Google app from my phone that was stolen, and so I couldn't locate my phone anymore. Because I'm under FBI surveillance also, so they're hiding thieves by conducting surveillance on my phone. So if anything, so even if I'm killed, the FBI surveillance on my phone, the records have to be presented in court. And they will hear my mother calling me and telling my drugs are poisoning her. They were trying to kill and get money. They were very jealous that I was, I had a court case against the NYPD for taking my home and kicking my mother out. So this is what is going on. In case I'm killed, I'm not saving another country. I need whistleblowers to help me. An international human rights organization to help me. And only an organization that hasn't denied me up in the past should be able to take charge of my case in case I'm killed or seriously bodily injured. And I'm not living in another country. And, you know, no family member or friend should have access to my body parts. I don't have to. I don't want to have children. You know, so please, this is very important. You know, and also I want to show you how Google Drive is making it difficult for me to upload videos. So there's video. I've been backlogged since March, trying to upload video. If I finally upload it, so it takes so long. It takes so long. I've been backlogged since March. I'm only able to upload few videos today. I've been trying to upload videos since like 4 p.m. I can only upload 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 today. So I've been backlogged since like March. You know, William. Since March, this was the only time I was able to upload videos. Then Google Drive started declining my payment, and under this government code, the meter was making an attempt to kill me. Yep. It's still not uploading. It's still not uploaded for 3 hours. These 2 videos are not uploading. So between the Google works for the FBI also, and they try to suppress people's voices that go against the law enforcement. And this is like a crime against humanity. Because I'm an internal displaced person. The NYPD took my home in 2010, and under a court agreement signed in 1990 that anybody vacated from their home, the city of New York has to provide me with a hotel room and give me financial stipend. Under this Black American mayor, they refused to do that. My mother also applied for a hotel room. They refused to give her a hotel room or me a hotel room. And this Mayor Adams, as soon as he won the mayoral election, he was said there's going to be a reset. And since then they've been trying to arrest me and steal all my evidence. And anytime they steal my phone, they erase all my videos. And Google Drive doesn't let me upload videos. I've been trying to upload video now for 4 hours, 2 videos. And Google Drive has been playing games with me since March. If I go buy debit card in the store, it will tell me that the debit card is not good, decline. I'll go buy another one, tell me decline. And also I used to buy Google payment card. And I used to and it erased the link which I can use Google payment card to pay. Normally the link should have appeared here, Google payment card, your payment methods. So it erased that link. I can no longer use Google payment card. So since March it delayed me from it was declining every payment card I was entering. It was declining. A lot of these cards are declining and stalled me since March. And I had police abuse by Me Too mob going on. It was trying to get me arrested and steal my phone. I had the police steal my phone. They're trying to reincarnate how Diallo was killed, and they call it accidental. So they try to provoke me, steal my property, and so when I call the police, they're grooming me to be killed for a police homicide. Normally you hear about suicide by police, whereby somebody crazy will provoke the police to kill them. In my case, this Me Too mob provoked me so the police can come and kill me. So they're trying to do a homicide by police. They work with the police. So Sunday, some guys, I believe they are mobs, goons from the Me Too. They followed me on 42nd. We got on the train and they were talking about, they hit me in the head and they were making sexual comment. 3 of them sat together on a 2-seater, and one was sitting on top of their lap and was saying, "Take it out, bro. Take it." It was talking about like a sexual organ. He said, I was saying, "Take it out, bro. Ooh, it hurts, bro." And but even though I'm a transsexual, my mother's daughter Bolani always refers to me as the E. So when they start using that word, bro and E, it's like they're helping my mother's daughters mock me. I'm a transsexual, so they misgender me as bro. I also, they hit me in the head and they told me, and I recorded them. They apologized. As soon as I turned the phone on, they said they were going to do it again. So they were trying to provoke me, and they were moving close to me. I'm about to choke me. Also, so this mob and the Black American mob, they also move close to me, they're about to choke me, and they're destroying my property. If I leave my property anywhere, other people's property will say it's my property, they will destroy and call sensation to come and get rid of it. They trash my property all over the floor. Even though I use a chain lock to lock my property, they will break it open and throw it all over the place and call the sensation to remove all my property. So they've stolen evidence from me. So between this Governor Oko and the Me Too mob and my mother's daughters, also my mother was killed by daughters, Valencia and Flora. They stole all our property, my mother's property in storage, and took it to Pennsylvania. One of those properties was my green card and my passport. The U.S. Immigration issued 2 green cards to me in 2008. You can verify with the U.S. Immigration under my record. And my mother kept 1 green card for me, and I was using one. When the police arrested me in 2019, they stole that green card from me, choked me, and also my mother's daughters, Volani and Flora, have a spare my spare green card. I refused to give it to me. So right now I don't have any ID. And the police won't give me any police report because they said I don't have any ID. And also I've been trying to apply for government benefits so I can get off the street, both in New Jersey and New York City, and they told me because I don't have any ID, they can't give me government benefits. So in case I'm killed or harmed, even if they can't prove that my mother was killed by her daughters, if they try to lie that she died of diabetes, because her daughter said they don't want any autopsy. And both the hospital and the medical examiner's office told me they have to honor her daughter's wish. That they rule because I'm a transsexual and they are real females, So they're all covering it up. Because my mother also was suing certain people. She was suing our union, the 1199, because she believed, they also donate money to Democrats. My mother sued in Brooklyn Federal Court because she wasn't paid a pension. And she believed they're also be instigating attacks against her, So I'm being attacked by the Me Too mob. And my mother daughter as a gang also attacking me. My friend in Uganda also was choked dead. So it's been really wild. My mother is dead, my friend is dead, so I'm the only one surviving, and they're trying to kill me also. And everybody's pitching in and joining in. A lot of the companies, high-rank companies are joining in. And it's like a festival of xenophobia. So in case I'm killed, no other country is safe for me. Like I was explaining earlier, this mayor also, I reached out to him through Twitter, through social media, that I need a hotel room. And he also was saying he wants the police to be putting homeless in psych ward. And he said a lot of people get killed when the police arrest them, like Elijah McCain. So they're all trying to set up a homicide by the police. Because I've been saying I don't want to put in psych ward. So this governor, Mayor Adams, said he wants all homeless to be raided. So I believe the method they want to use to kill me is homicide by police, make it like a Diallo accidental killing. Either they have the police call me crazy and shoot me with the laser, what's it called, taser. So they have people provoke me. So I believe this will be one of the first instances in the world where people will set up a homicide by the police. And they say it's not so strange that a lot of Karen do that. People that will call police on black people, say they're barbecuing. They said there was another woman that tried it in Central Park. They said there was a black American male that graduated from Harvard, and she didn't put her dog on a leash, and this black American male told her to put her dog on a leash. And this woman called 911 and said black American male is about to kill her, and she was crying, and the police came, and this black American male was recording everything, and the video went viral, and people were protesting, and the police went and arrested her for making a fake 911 call. So I believe, they're trying to kill me by homicide by police as an African. This Mayor Adams is a black American. Historically, black Americans and Africans don't get along due to Africans selling black Americans into slavery. And Jumaane Williams, the public advocate of New York, he also insinuated something regarding that. I don't know him personally, but he said some high-ranking official in New York City and a high-ranking official in New York State are both trying to get homeless immigrants harmed on the street. So I reached out to this Mayor Adams, even though he said he is concerned about homeless on the street and he wants to get them housing. I reached out to him that that I was vacated by the police, and black Americans that were vacated by the police, also in the Bronx last year. He put them in hotel rooms, and I was telling him to put me in a hotel room also, and refused to answer refused to get back to me, even though she said he's concerned about the homeless on the street. I said he wants the police to be doing raids. He said they're intentionally trying to provoke me so the police will call me crazy. He said he wants the police to be putting people in psych ward. The governor also said that. So they're trying to play Karen. A Karen is somebody that will call the police on a black person, knowing police encounter on blacks normally end up fatal. They said a black male in Texas, in Florida, he was a soldier, U.S. soldier. He was back home on vacation, And he said the police went and knocked on his door, and he wasn't expecting no visitor, so he brought a gun with him as he was opening the door, and the police shoot him dead because the police went to the wrong house. So they're setting me up for, while I'm on the street, they're ordering police raids on homeless. Even this Governor Oko, they said she hired a Nigerian nurse. And a particular Nigerian nurse came to me, said she works for the Governor Oko and the MTA, and told me to get off the train station because my life is not safe. And there's been reported as a Nigerian nurse. I don't know if this particular person that's been putting people in psych ward, whether they're crazy or not, with the police, and they'll force you, chain you up. My mother was killed by Doris, forced into psych ward because her Doris were trying to kill her, and cause her to panic and have a die of heart attack, and then blame the police and get the money and give it to the gangs. So this is like genocide. So it's because I have beef with this Governor Hoko. She's trying to help the Me Too escape justice because they possibly falsely arrested R. Kelly and Weinstein. Because when I needed them to help me go against the police department, the Me Too lawyer Gloria Albright said she can't go against the police department because she needs them to arrest R. Kelly, so she can't help me file court papers against them, whether inform the feds about their crime, because she needs them to help her arrest R. Kelly and Weinstein to get money for a client. So that's like a bribery, bribing the police, So this Governor Oko is siding with the Me Too lawyer, who's a white female also. And so they're creating a homicidal mob, with their police and the Me Too mob to provoke me. And my mother was killed May 20, 2015. So to make me, so they believe Governor Oko is a lawyer. Her child is also a lawyer that works for the FBI. So they're trying to kill me in this May. So look, I'm missing my mother. And this is how I know. Because last year, I was still sitting at Standard Ferry, and all of a sudden some black Americans came and punched me in the head. No provocation, nothing. And at that time, it was 24 hours after the news report came out that a black American male was shooting people in Virginia University because he was missing his mother. It's believed his mother was killed, and it was the anniversary of his mother's death. And he took a gun. So, since that situation occurred, I believe this mob, they're working for either Governor Oko and the Me Too, and they believe they can reincarnate that kind of, incident. So every May, my mother was killed May 20, 2015, my daughter. So every May, Mother's Day, they're trying to make me remember my mother. So they're trying to get me excited and triggered. So, they're trying to cause me to panic. So they keep robbing me, punching me this May, hitting me in the head this May, and the police would delay showing up. So that the police those police officers that didn't show up until 2 hours later, and I called 911 back, and the 911 hung up on me. So you got to keep on waiting. Your call is in the system. They need to arrest them for interfering with 911 access. It's a federal crime. Interfering with 911 access by purposefully delaying my 911 calls. They always make me wait 2 hours in the cold, in the rain, at least 2 hours, sometimes 3, 4, 5 hours. Never earlier than 2 hours. And they need to see, this Governor Oko and the Me Too mob are there behind it, so my life is not safe. And about this Mayor Adams, historically, there's been black Americans that want reparations since they said black Africans sold them into slavery. I come from Nigeria, a country that was sold black Americans into slavery. So this Governor, Mayor Adams, has been making all kinds of provocative statements, like saying, before when the police, we used to work for the police, and I used to go to use the bathroom in the train station across this building when it was borough president of Brooklyn around 2015 after my mother got killed. So the police would come and eject me from the bathroom, so I'll go in front of his building and be saying, in Ohio, and Nigerian is the mayor there, and in Iowa, they're giving driver's license to undocumented immigrants, that New York needs to stop his xenophobia. Then this Mayor Adams went and ran for become mayor and saying, it's the new Esther. My mother's name is Esther. It says the new Esther. And we're saying words that would try to hurt my feeling. And say it's the black American time, or it's this time, And when I try to get him to help me with housing, it wouldn't help me. We only have black Americans that are in my situation vacated and put them in a hotel room right away and give them money. Like the court order said in 1990 that anybody vacated has to be given money and put in a hotel room. But it's only helping black Americans, or people that are connected with black Americans. All the people that were vacated with black Americans in the Bronx building, he put them in a hotel room. I suffered a fire in my building. I was vacated from my building due to fire. Also, the police took my home earlier in 2010. Wrongfully in 2010, and in 2014, another building I was in had a fire, and the police came and vacated again. So, and they're not putting me in a hotel room, nothing. They are supposed to put me in a hotel room permanently. So I've been contacting this man Adam, and it won't help me. And it's like they're taunting me and say once you're supposed to be raiding people, the rest of the homeless, they need to be raided and put in psych ward. And the governor who says she concur. So I have evidence, and I'm not being helped. And also there was a time, a black boy was killed in Brooklyn, and this governor, and this man Adam went to Brooklyn to visit the mother. The mother was from the Caribbean, and he said anytime somebody dies, they want us whose child will be killed next. So this rogue police, Commissioner Carrick, after the NYPD invaded our home, kicked me and my mother out in 2010, and my mother went on the WB 11 News at 10 to say the NYPD is terrorizing black and foreigners. This Commissioner Eric, former police commissioner Eric, told the press, issued a statement that I believe he was mocking me and my mother. See, some people, and the statement what he told the press was, some people live in the basement apartment with their loser child. And then they said he was close to Trump. As soon as my mother was killed, I was suing for my mother dying in Bellevue Hospital. I was killed in Bellevue Hospital, and at Bellevue Hospital putting her roughly in the psych ward there, which helped kill her, due to the excessive force, being wrongfully incarcerated in the psych ward. So as soon as I was suing, they said this commissioner was going to Trump, and Trump ran for president, even though he wasn't, and he declared his intention to run for president while climbing down an escalator. They said he wasn't even planning to run all of a sudden, and he was saying we're taking our country back. And he was saying, making statement like Africans come from shit-hole country, I need to go back. And he was sending U.S. immigration into courtroom where I was suing the NYPD and City of New York. Said they were arresting people with green cards and put them in immigration prison, and they will hold you there forever. So you won't be able to come out. So I was scared to go to court and stuff. And also, then when I was arrested by the NYPD in 2019 and they put me in the psych ward, the head of immigration, Homeland Security, I think his name is Alejandro. I'm not pointing out, I don't know how to pronounce his name. He was rejoicing in the paper, and he said, we need immigrants that can stand on their 2 feet. He said, we don't want immigrants that can't stand on their 2 feet. And, and the records will show that when the police was choking me, I was trying to stand on my 2 feet, but I couldn't because they were kneeling on me, because I didn't want to go to psych ward. And, I used to sit down and, people would bring me money, where I sat on beige, I used to sit on a chair, and people would bring me money where I sat on, and then they set me up with their police in 2019 as I was trying to get Gloria already arrested for not helping me for my case. After Uganda was trying to help me, and the police took him there, and she said she can't help me because she wants to keep secrets for the NYPD so they can help her arrest R. Kelly and Weinstein so she can make money for her client. So this video will show, that the police was kneeling on me. This video, I was, as you can see, I can't play them full, but it's on my YouTube, so and also Trump tried to run me over with his Jeep while he was, even before he declared his intention to run for president. I was standing in front of his house on 5th Avenue, and he tried to run me over with his Jeep, and I was asking bystander, who's that guy that tried to run me over with his Jeep? His driver was driving the Jeep, the SUV, and he said his name is Trump, and so the FBI surveillance of my phone will pick that up, that voice intercept, because they say, according to Snowden, once you have a phone on you, the FBI can spy and listen to your conversation, even if your phone is turned on or off. They have that technology. So, so this is what is going on, and only America is safe for me because U.S. has, the NYPD has a strong political influence, and any of U.S. allies, any country I'm in, I could be assassinated in that country, and the police then may refuse to help me, just like Eric Garner, the killer was walking free, because the police didn't let me testify in court for Eric Garner. I required Eric Garner to tell me I was going to help him in my court papers, and the police went and choked him dead, and they said they refused him resuscitation. They told the paramedics not to resuscitate, and they were laughing as he was dying. So this is what is going on. So I'm going to try to post this to my YouTube. So Google is also blocking from uploading videos, and it seems like since March, to decline my payment card. And also the YouTube also has been, anytime I try to upload videos evidentiary videos against the NYPD abusing me, or the Me Too mob abusing me, Google will block me from uploading those videos. Say that I've reached my numerical limits. Even though I may have just posted one video the whole day, tell me to wait 48 hours or 24 hours to post another video. So this is what is going on, and there's no numerical limit to post videos, really, because sometimes I'm able to post many videos. So this is what's going on, it's just so much. So under my right of sepulchre, if I'm killed, I don't want anybody to have access to my body parts. I want to be cremated immediately, and also I don't want to have any children. And also my property assets should be frozen, so nobody should be able to get insurance money through my asset. Get insurance money paid to them. Anyone that has insurance, made insurance policy on me, life, that asset should be frozen. That insurance policy should be frozen and investigated for crime. And also, there's just so much. And also there's a U.S. basketball player, Damian Lillard. So in 2022, in 2021, as soon as Eric Adams won the mayorship, December, I was in Brooklyn near the basketball stadium, Atlantic Barclays Center. I was talking on the phone. I was trying to connect to my phone, and some Black American kids came and started kicking me, and I ran across the street into someone's store, and they came with a pipe. They were about to lynch me dead. So the white guy closed the door of the store and prevented from lynching me, and called 911. I also called 911. And there was a cameraman recording. And they were about to, record the video of me being lynched. I don't know if they plan to use that video for my mother's daughters to make money and say, I was crazy and I was homeless and I died from torture, and they need all the money from the NYPD. So I had these Black American kids. They were beating me up, and they went and get a metal pipe, and there was a video guy recording. But these Black American kids would kick me. They were only using their legs. They wouldn't use their hand. They were just kicking me. And my mother's daughter, Bolani, used to like to kick. My mother has scars on her feet. She's now, they didn't do autopsy on her, but her daughter, Bolani, left scars on her feet. My mother used to call 911 here in New York City as her daughter was growing up. A 14-year-old, and she had to take them to Nigeria, but it told her they didn't want to leave in Nigeria. So after a few months of taking them to Nigeria, she arrived a white family that was working with the Department of Education in Pennsylvania, get custody of them. I said the bill of that white family, also that white family had to turn them over to the prison. So they grew up in foster care. So, so my mother's daughters like to kick Bolani. So in 2021, as Eric Adams won the mayorship, and it was very anti-African, it was saying it's the new Esther and all this stuff that people need, people need to go back to where they came from. New York is for real New Yorkers only. Because I used to go in front of his office as the police were injecting me after my, after my mother was killed, and I tried to use the bathroom, and they were trying to get me to be depressed or something. Every time I tried to use the bathroom, they'll kick me out of the bathroom in front of his office on the 2 train line on the Quad Street, the bathroom there. So the permanent closed up that bathroom now. This is what they're doing, closing up every facility I could use. Every evidence, they will erase it, So they turned it into a storehouse for the MTA. So to look like that bathroom never existed. But it was the courthouse, and the station there, they call it Quad Street Station, 2, 4 train, 5 train, and it has the bathroom, has elevator. So they can't deny. They turned that bathroom now into a storage. So they're erasing the evidence, and they believe they can kill me. There'll be no evidence. Just look, I'm a cuckoo, just making up stuff. But people will remember. People that grew up in New York will remember. A lot of homeless will remember there was a bathroom there at the time my mother was killed. And the police used to come and harass me out of that bathroom. And I would run in front of Eric Adams' office. It was the borough president of Brooklyn. And I would say, in Ohio, in Nigeria, became mayor in a town in Ohio. And in Iowa, they're giving undocumented immigrant driver's licenses. And I said New York should do the same and be nice and stop xenophobia. Then this Eric Adams said he was running for mayor. As at the time I was down, somebody sponsored him. They said Bloomberg, because under Bloomberg was Bloomberg introduced stop and frisk, and that was when the police came and ejected us and choked Eric Garner dead because when Bloomberg was mayor. Under that stop and frisk, they said Bloomberg now appointed, mentored, and sponsored Eric Garner to become mayor, and he was like acting very tauntily. I was trying to go to Bloomberg accountable also. So it's almost like Bloomberg anointed Eric Adams to be his protege, to antagonize me. And there was been attempted of my life since then. They refused to offer me any city services, and they just, playing games with me. And, Eric Adams myself, a lot of black Americans that were victims of me, put them in hotel rooms, had give them money, but left me out and said wants the police to, the rest of the homeless on the street, he wants the police to raid them and put them in psych ward. I said a lot of times when the police are raiding people, trying to put them in psych ward, they will choke them dead. They will kill them or taser them dead. So I'm being set up to be killed. So in 2021, as soon as Eric Adams became mayor, it was like I was finished. And he was saying, no, we're going to reset. So back then when they steal my phones, whether they're pickpockets or, whoever these criminals were that were stealing my phones, whoever they were. So whether the pickpocket that steal my phone or the police steal my phone, they wipe out every videos. Now Google Drive is preventing from uploading video. So obstructing justice. So 2021, December, after Eric Adams won the mayorship, some black American kids were kicking me, female. They were kicking me, so I ran across the street close to Barclays basketball stadium, and I ran to a white guy's shop. So the white guy closed the door and called 911. And when the police came, the white guy said he was witness to the black American kids kicking me, and they chased me in front of moving cars because, they chased me across the street. And it was like a multi-lane road. So they wanted the cars to run me over, and they brought out metal pipes to beat me to death. And I was a cameraman recording. So I was so terrorized. At that time, de Blasio time was done. So de Blasio was more lenient because his child was mixed race, and I guess he didn't have any beefs with Africans because he wasn't a black American, but some black Americans have beef with Africans because the Africans sold them to slavery. So the de Blasio time was done. So it's like I was being set up to be killed immediately. Eric Adams had won the mayorship in December, and December, so black Americans started kicking me. So I ran across the street, cars was about to hit me. They were breaking in front of my legs. So this kid chased me, and this white guy saved my life, locked the door, called 911. And when the police came, they told me no police report. He was saying he needs a police report. He said no police report. And I told them I need a police report. They said no police report. And they let the kids walk away. Since then also I was accosted by a Spanish female at the bathroom at Pier 25. As soon as they said a Spanish female beat up a black male, saying he stole her phone, and she later found her phone, and there was a call for arrest. And that time a Spanish female also came into the bathroom and said I stole her phone. Even though I didn't steal her phone, and I called 911 on her, and she was trying to block me from calling 911 and chase me in front of moving cars. Moving cars almost killed me on the West Side Highway. It was a multi-lane road, and cars were breaking on my leg also. And when the police arrived, she was laughing with the police. I was recording everything. There was a street camera also recorded in front of the Borough Manhattan Community College. And the police said, she didn't really lose her phone. She just wanted me to put in psych ward. I looked crazy to her, and that's how she made up that. And the police said, but still they want to put me in psych ward. So I called 911 again, and they transferred me to the IAB, and I left a message with the IAB, and they never returned my call. So now they believe I have all these phones on me, and and they want to erase me and get me deported out of the country. And Jumani Will, a public advocate, said some high-ranking official in New York City, which I believe is Eric Adams, and another one high-ranking official in New York State, Governor Oku, which I believe, said both of them are inciting hate attacks against homeless immigrants on the street. So I'm getting mobbed by the Me Too mob. And this what's going on. So only America is safe for me in case I'm killed. In case I'm badly injured and they want to remove me from the country or want to put me in a psych ward and sedate me. So I need people, whistleblowers, to help me file an habeas corpus petition. That's when you're being detained and whistleblow. I'm exposing crime by Governor Oku, possible crime, through our carelessness, our malicious acts, conduct, culpability, she will be culpable for getting a black American nurse killed. Because she left the soldiers in the World Trade Center to scare me away from using the bathroom there. And those soldiers were needed last year in Buffalo. She didn't let them go to Buffalo. She kept them at the World Trade Center to scare me away from using the bathroom. And so this method was also used against somebody called Julius Assange. He was very critical against the U.S. government and was hiding and was releasing information about the U.S. government classified document. So the U.S. government wanted him deported from England. So he ran into the Ecuadorian embassy, and the president of Ecuador at that time, was also anti-American. So he provided Julius Assange asylum at the Ecuadorian embassy in London. But then there was a power change. I think there was a military coup or something, or an election in Ecuador. So a new president came on board, and this new president sided with the U.S. So they started saying Julius Assange has a mental illness and was defecating his pants. So no longer, for his mental well-being, they had to call the police, the London police, to take him to psych ward, which allowed the police to arrest him and process him for deportation to America. So they said, such tricks have been used to feign mental illness on people as a ruse to get them arrested, and killed by the police or harmed or for some other action to be taken against them. So I believe this government, all cool and stuff, they are raiding immigrants to put in psych ward as a ruse and using all these other homeless as collateral damage. It's been they're really after, because if they can get me to the psych ward, they can sedate me and they'll get me raped, just like in Florida. They said a nurse was raping a woman who was in coma, sedated in coma, or whatever. She was in coma, but they can also get you sedated and rape you, and because I'm a transsexual, and use your semen to impregnate somebody and kill you and say that's your surviving child. You had a secret pact with somebody, and somebody took me to their house also. As soon as they lock up all the bathroom in the MTA, I believe this Me Too mob was behind it. They got the MTA to lock up all the bathrooms, and then I couldn't find a bathroom to use, so I had to leave the subway. With a guy who told me I should come to his house. He has a bathroom in his house, and then was raping me. And when I refused, he punched me and kicked me out of his house after 6 days of raping me. And also said he wanted to get married. That's what he wants, really. And I told him no. He started punching me and kicked me out of his house. And I had blood all over my face. And the police said, "You're getting out." And I told him it's unlawful. And they brought their police and kicked me out. So this is Me Too mob. With their police, they're raping people, taking our properties, and this R. Kelly, I said, was beat up in prison, and this Weinstein also may be unlawfully arrested. So it's a gang takeover of America. This place will not be safe for a World Cup. So my mother was also killed. Her daughters were born in America, and they didn't let me do autopsy on her. And they could blame her death on diabetes, because my mother's sister also, they said she died of diabetes. My mother was she's suspicious that no, at least her sister may not have died quickly, because they didn't take her sister to the hospital. They just went and buried her sister and shared the sister's property in Nigeria. So my mother used to say that a lot, and so my mother also had diabetes, and as the doctors became aware, and said they don't want an autopsy, and they were poisoning my mother. My mother was like, so if in case of anything, to bring clarity to the situation, the FBI surveillance tape has to be brought out. In case I'm killed or harmed, and I need whistleblowers to help me challenge this in court, and ask for every FBI surveillance tape on me to be played in court, and then they will hear my mother calling me on the phone, telling me her daughter's about to kill her. I was recording a lot of stuff my mother was saying also when we met in person. So I had my phone with me, so they said the FBI can spy on you through your phone, and I've been under FBI surveillance since 2000 when my mother brought me in. So So, and a lot of this incident which will appear on the FBI, all this incident. So it's just so much. But I'm not saving any other country except America. I'm a U.S. permanent resident. And any plot to deport me, whether by run me over with a car and say I'm better off in another country for treatment, I don't have loving family anywhere. I'm just all by myself, So only international human rights groups should take care of me if in case I'm harmed or I take care of my assets and used to get justice for me and my mother, and the remaining assets should be given to people that experience xenophobia like me. And the only caveat is, or the only thing is, any group representing me or anybody receiving my charity must not have denied me up in the past. So I'm not interested in having any children. I'm single. I'm not married to anybody. I'm not looking for any marriage. And under my right to sepulture, in case I'm killed, under my right to sepulture, my preference takes priority. And I don't want any movie done about me. Nobody knows me like that. I'm a very private person. I'm very introverted. My immigration document, I put it in there. When immigration interviewed me for my asylum in 2000, I told them I'm introverted. That's why I don't really like talking about myself. But I'm forced to be talking about myself now. Because the Google Drive is preventing from uploading videos. And I'm being attacked by a mob. I was sexually raped by Me Too mob, a transphobic mob. So they attack him in the bathroom, and they control the police force, and this Governor Oko is giving them, this Me Too mob, a safe sanctuary to terrorize. So this is what's going on.